Next week is seriously packed, and if you're on Quest 3, PSVR2 or PCVR, you're getting some seriously strong releases. 5 major titles are dropping with a full story-driven vibe and enough atmosphere to keep you locked inside your headset. On top of that, 3 big VR news updates are rolling in, covering new tools, visual upgrades, and surprising platform changes. So let's break everything down and get you ready for a downright badass week in VR.
Welcome to the spires of Adgor, sorcerers. Your dark days lie ahead.
Shadowgate VR, the mines of Mythrok. The moment you drop into the mines, you can feel something watching you from the dark, and that's exactly where your journey kicks off. You're walking through dwarven halls that once echoed with drills, chanting, and flame, and now everything is frozen in time. As you follow Odin, the raven, deeper in, he starts hinting at what actually happened here, and you realize the dwarves weren't mining for treasure. They were trying to contain something powerful enough to twist stone, metal, and living creatures into corrupted versions of themselves. Every chamber you enter adds another piece to that buried history. Runes still glow, traps still arm themselves, and old machinery roars to life like it remembers the catastrophe better than any written record. While all this unfolds, you're not just a spectator. Your wand lets you break warded seals, ignite elemental spells, and push back creatures that clearly didn't appreciate being locked underground. Even the minecart rides feel like chapters of the story, whisking you through caverns where the dwarves left their last warnings scratched into the walls. This chapter of the Shadowgate saga lands 25th of November, giving you the closest look yet at what really destroyed Mythrok. Cleansheet Pro Goalkeeper Training. The moment you strap in, you're stepping into a full goalkeeper career, and the sim treats you like someone fighting for a real spot between the posts. Every session starts with match scenarios that feel ripped straight from televised fixtures, and you're thrown into the chaos instantly. Corners bend inward like they're hunting the top corner. Strikers fire off motion-captured volleys with zero hesitation. And penalties come at you with that same cold silence you'd hear in a stadium right before a kick. The sim builds a story around your rise. As you pick your club and begin climbing the ladder, each promotion challenge feels like a chapter in your career, and every mistake becomes part of the narrative the system tracks through your evolving GKIQ score. Profiler mode even lets you measure your development against international level keepers, turning each drill into a quiet rivalry. Gameplay weaves into that progression. You adjust positioning, make instinct saves, read shooters, and grind out stats that directly influence your path forward. The stadium you play in expands only if you earn it, and yes, relegation is always waiting if you lose focus. Pools. Inside these flooded corridors, the world goes quiet in a way that tells you something's wrong. You're not running from anything, but the unease builds anyway because the place feels designed to trap you, not scare you with cheap tricks. Everything looks harmless at a distance, until you realize the tiles don't line up the same way when you turn around. Reflections distort just enough to make you doubt what you saw a second earlier. And that's where Pools pulls you in. You're not solving puzzles or fighting monsters. You're trying to understand a space that refuses to stay still, a space that almost feels alive. One hallway stretches longer than it should, another shrinks behind you, and the quiet little rubber duck you noticed earlier somehow isn't where you left it. Mannequins appear in corners you just checked, standing too close, too still, like they're waiting to see what you'll do next. That constant shift becomes the story. You're navigating a labyrinth that reacts to your presence, and every wrong turn changes the tone of the environment. It's exploration, but with the unsettling sense that the place is observing you right back. Pools arrives on PSVR2 and PS5 on November 25th. Bootstrap Island Major Update 5 Visions. From the second you wake up on that shattered shoreline, the island treats you like it wants you gone. Waves drag broken planks back into the sea, the wrecked ship creaks behind you, and the jungle watches you with the same silence you'd expect from a predator sizing you up. As you push inland, the story starts unfolding through the environment instead of dialogue. You find objects from the ship scattered deep in places they shouldn't be, like something dragged them there long before you arrived. The more you explore, the clearer it becomes that this place has claimed survivors before you, and every abandoned campfire, rusted blade, or half-finished shelter gives you a glimpse of their final moments. Even flashbacks slip in as you rest, revealing fragments of who you were before the wreck, and why you might be the only one left. That's when survival kicks in. You're shaping spears, scaling cliffs, mastering fire, and dealing with nights that turn every shadow into a threat. Physics react to everything you do. Water floods trenches, storms reshape the terrain, and predators hunt with unsettling intent. Each death pushes the story forward, unlocking new tools for your next run. Bootstrap Island is available now in early access and is releasing sometime on November 2025.
Let me explain the situation. Dr. Blackwood is missing. Your job is to get inside his sanatorium, find what happened there.
The Amygdala Protocol. The first thing you hear inside Crestwood Institute isn't footsteps or whispers. It's the silence of a place that remembers every child who suffered in it. You're stepping into this job thinking you're only here to find Dr. Elias Thorne, but the deeper you push into the ruined hallways, the more it becomes obvious he didn't disappear by accident. His files are scattered like he left in a panic. Patient drawings hide warnings in crayon. And old treatment rooms still hold the ghosts of experiments that were never meant to see daylight. Every clue you uncover points toward one child, hidden in the hospital's records, erased everywhere except in the aftermath she left behind. That's when she starts reacting to you. Rooms shift when you're not looking. Doorways vanish as soon as you pass them. And you can feel her watching you, not with hatred, but with the kind of awareness born from trauma turned into something unnatural. You're piecing together the truth through puzzles, documents, and old machinery while knowing she's close enough to hear you breathe. Hiding becomes part of the investigation because she isn't drifting aimlessly, she's hunting for a reason. The Amygdala Protocol arrives November the 29th at 10 a.m. PST, with pre-orders available now. Now, let's take a look at what else is happening. Puzzling Places rolls out a new replay feature in a free Quest update. If you've ever finished a massive Puzzling Places build and wished you could show people exactly how the whole thing came together, this new update is going to feel like it was built for you. The latest Quest update introduces the replay tool, and the moment you complete a puzzle, the system automatically turns your entire session into a full time lapse. Every piece you snapped into place gets recorded without you having to capture a single clip manually. The tool stitches everything into a smooth video instantly, giving you a clean record of your build from start to finish. No editing, no setup. Just a complete visual history of your puzzle in motion. But the update doesn't stop there. Alongside the replay tool, the team at realities.io dropped a premium puzzle called A Painter's Dream, a riverside environment inspired by Impressionist art. You're piecing together water lilies drifting near quiet cafes, soft reflections on the water, and colours that feel lifted straight out of a plein air painting. It launches across Quest, PSVR2 and Pico, expanding the game's monthly rotation of premium builds. Puzzling Places is already available on Quest, PSVR2, Pico and Vision Pro, with a Steam release still on the way. Little Planet delivers cozy social gameplay, reminiscent of Animal Crossing. For players craving a VR space that's totally theirs to build, Little Planet becoming free-to-play on Quest makes stepping into that universe effortless. The moment you land on your tiny globe, you're not handed a prefab layout. You're sculpting rivers, dragging cliffs into place, clearing forests and turning a blank sphere into a customized habitat that actually reflects your style. After that, the game shifts gears and drops you into the daily life of your new world. You're chopping wood, crafting furniture, decorating your home, and living alongside the planet pals, anthropomorphic villagers with enough quirky banter to keep the place from feeling empty. As you push deeper, those simple beginnings open into a surprisingly complex life sim. Tutorials teach you the basics fast, but the real depth comes from experimenting. The pedia challenges you to discover materials, critters, and craftable items through trial and curiosity. With a late-game account, VRwood showed how far the systems go: fashion houses, furniture shops, full tool sets, and gear like fishing rods, gardening kits, pea shooters, and axes. Even the fishing minigame becomes addictive thanks to physical casting and reeling mechanics. First patch for Tracked Shoot to Survive delivers notable visual upgrades. If you tried Tracked Shoot to Survive at launch and bounced off the rough edges, this first patch might convince you to take another look. Incuvo rolled out a substantial upgrade only a week after release, and the biggest shift hits you the moment you load in. Resolution has been tightened across the board, lighting feels more grounded, and the skybox finally matches the scale of the world instead of looking washed out. Even smaller visual touches stand out. Stealth grass is thicker, tree shadows look clearer, and contaminated meat now looks as rotten as the game always implied it was. Beyond visuals, you're getting new systems to work with. A sleeping mechanic lets you rest at the father's cabin to recover health and jump forward in time. And UI improvements clean up the fast travel board so you don't waste minutes figuring out where to go next. Cooking icons are more readable, and the notepad finally responds the way it should during busy encounters. Our reviewer, Luis Aviles, tested the patch hands-on and immediately noticed faster loading times and sharper textures. Performance still stutters in places and some sound effects land awkwardly, but he calls the update a clear improvement over the launch build. That wraps the lineup for next week. And honestly, every platform is getting something worth your time. From haunted hospitals and shifting aquatics to survival challenges and new creative sandboxes, the variety this week is ridiculous in the best way. Add in the updates hitting live service titles, and you're stepping into one of the most stacked weeks VR has seen in a while. Drop your picks in the comments and I'll see you in the next dive into the VR world.
The building, it has a way of getting inside your head. You stay too long, you're not coming back. None of you will.